The entertainment world was already shaken by the mysterious reports surrounding Yu Menglong, but what happened next took the entire industry by storm. After weeks of speculation and unanswered questions, his missing phone was finally found, and what was discovered inside has the power to shatter friendships, end partnerships, and bring once unshakable reputations crashing down. The phone was said to have been hidden away in a place so unexpected that no one could have thought to search there. When it was finally unlocked, insiders claimed that the first messages revealed a man caught in the middle of immense emotional pressure. His words were raw, filled with exhaustion, yet carefully layered with a tone that suggested he knew he was holding secrets far bigger than anyone imagined. As the messages were revealed one after another, they painted a picture of an industry where trust is fragile and betrayal is only one step away. In one conversation, Yu Menglong allegedly warned a close friend never to trust the people sitting closest to them, because those are often the first to strike when no one is looking. Fans could not believe their eyes as snippets of these messages began to circulate and spread like wildfire online. But the most explosive chats were not simply about rivalry. They revealed hidden alliances between actors and producers, secrets about casting decisions, and even personal relationships that had been carefully guarded for years. One chat in particular has already become the center of global attention. It showed Yu Menglong confronting someone powerful in the industry, demanding to know why his opportunities had been quietly taken away one by one. The tone was sharp and heavy, almost like a warning from a man who knew he was standing against giants. What shook fans even more was the discovery of a long audio note recorded late at night. In it, Yu Menglong sounded calm but also deeply conflicted. He spoke about how the industry rewards silence and punishes honesty, and how sometimes the cost of speaking the truth is far too high. His words echoed across social platforms, leaving fans in tears because it felt like a man trying to protect something bigger than himself. Soon after, more group chats were revealed, and this was where the true firestorm began. Screenshots allegedly showed private conversations involving names no one expected to see linked together. Some of the biggest stars in Chinese drama were mentioned alongside shocking discussions about secret deals, about roles that were exchanged like currency, and about relationships that were hidden behind carefully built images. For fans who always believed in the magical on-screen chemistry of their idols, these revelations were like seeing the curtain pulled back on a stage they were never meant to see. The online world erupted. Forums filled with heated debates. Some fans defended Yu Menglong, saying he was only a victim trapped in a system too big to fight. Others insisted the chats exposed his own double life, and that he had been just as involved as those he accused. The debate grew louder every hour, and soon international news outlets picked up the story. But perhaps the most mind-blowing detail came in the form of a single unfinished draft message left unsent on his phone. It was written to someone whose name was not revealed, and in it, he said simply that if anything happened to him, the truth was already written down and would one day be revealed. That single line has now become a rallying cry among his supporters, who insist his voice must not be silenced. As the scandal grows, producers scramble to control the narrative. Some stars have already turned off their comments. Others have denied involvement. Yet fans are refusing to let go. Hashtags trend daily, demanding full exposure of everyone mentioned in the chats. The phone that was once thought lost has now become the most dangerous object in the industry, capable of bringing careers to an end and forcing the entire world to confront the truths hidden behind fame and glamour. What happens next is uncertain. Will the chats be completely exposed, or will they be buried quietly under the weight of power? One thing is clear: Yu Menglong's missing phone has opened a door that can never be closed again. The truth is out, and no matter how hard anyone tries, the fans will never forget what was found inside. The storm surrounding Yu Menglong's missing phone did not calm down. If anything, it grew wilder, louder, and more uncontrollable as days turned into weeks. Fans, journalists, and even fellow actors began circling around the unanswered question. Who exactly was Yu Menglong trying to expose, and why was the phone so carefully hidden away? At first, insiders thought the chaos would fade, as all scandals eventually do. But this time, the fire burned too brightly to be put out. One news station claimed to have obtained a full backup of the chats. They announced a press conference that would be streamed live not just in China but across the world. The announcement sent waves across social media. Millions set reminders, waiting to see whether the truth would finally be unleashed. The day of the press conference arrived. Cameras flashed outside the building as reporters and fans gathered, their voices colliding into a frenzy of noise. Inside the room, the atmosphere was tense, heavy with anticipation. Journalists sat with their pens poised. Cameras pointed at the stage, waiting for the revelation. When the first screenshots of the chats were projected onto the massive screen, silence swept across the hall. The messages were raw, unfiltered, and brutally honest. They showed conversations where industry giants laughed about manipulating careers, where certain actors were deliberately pushed out of the spotlight, and where deals were made in private dinners that would decide the fate of entire dramas. Yu Menglong's words were there, plain and undeniable. In one chat, he told a friend, "They think I am too quiet, too soft, but I know everything they have done. One day, the truth will not belong to them." Those words hung in the air like a haunting prophecy. Fans watching online were in disbelief. Comment sections exploded. Some cried. Some raged. Some wrote that Yu Menglong had sacrificed his peace for the sake of revealing the truth. Hashtags like "Justice for Yu Menglong" and "Expose the Chats" dominated the top trends worldwide. But then came the part that no one expected. The press conference did not just reveal corruption or rivalry. It exposed personal betrayals. In one set of private messages, names of beloved stars were linked to secret affairs and hidden conflicts. One rising actor was accused of backstabbing his mentor. Another famous actress was revealed to have sabotaged her colleagues' casting in a highly anticipated drama. The room grew restless. Some reporters gasped loudly. Others immediately began calling their editors, shouting over the noise as they dictated the bombshell revelations. The truth was not just professional, it was deeply personal. And then, the unfinished draft message from Yu Menglong was read out loud. The one he had never sent. The room fell completely silent as the words echoed through the speakers. "If you are reading this, it means they found me too late. Do not let them silence my voice. The truth belongs to everyone, not just the powerful." For a moment, it felt as if Yu Menglong himself was in the room speaking directly to those who had doubted him. People in the audience shifted uncomfortably, some wiping away tears. Even journalists who were trained to remain objective looked shaken. The impact was immediate. Several high-profile celebrities suddenly went dark online. Their accounts deactivated. Their managers issued short, panicked statements saying they had no knowledge of the chats. But fans were not convinced. They demanded answers. They demanded apologies. Outside the press conference hall, crowds grew uncontrollable. Supporters held up posters of Yu Menglong, calling him a hero, while critics argued that releasing the chats was too invasive, that some truths should have remained buried. But the world had already changed. Once spoken, these words could not be taken back. What happened next was described by one journalist as the biggest collapse in entertainment history. Brands quickly began pulling endorsements from the stars mentioned in the chats. Projects worth millions were frozen overnight. A drama set to premiere in just 2 weeks was suddenly cancelled. The studio claimed it was due to unforeseen issues, but everyone knew it was directly connected to the storm unleashed by Yu Menglong's missing phone. And yet, for fans, the most emotional moment came at the very end of the conference. A short video was played, allegedly recovered from the same phone. In it, Yu Menglong was sitting in a dimly lit room, speaking softly to the camera. His face was tired, but his eyes burned with quiet determination. He said, "I do not know who will listen to this, but if you do, remember me not for the roles I played, but for the truth I carried." Fame is temporary, but honesty, no matter how painful, lasts forever. The video ended abruptly, leaving the hall in silence. Some reporters stood frozen, unable to write. Others cried quietly, shaken by the weight of his final words. Fans online flooded the comments with broken hearts, crying emojis, and messages promising that his voice would never be forgotten. In the days that followed, the entertainment world remained in chaos. Careers crumbled. Some stars vanished from the public eye entirely. Others tried to rebuild by issuing public apologies, but few were forgiven. For Yu Menglong's fans, however, one thing was clear. His story was no longer just about scandal. It had become a symbol of truth against corruption, of courage against silence. And so, the missing phone that once seemed like just another device became something far greater. It became the voice of a man who refused to be silenced. A voice that, even in absence, continued to shake the foundations of an entire industry. By the end, fans agreed on one thing. Yu Menglong had left behind not just roles on screen, but a legacy that could not be erased. His chats may have ended careers, but his courage inspired millions. The story of the missing phone was no longer about scandal. It had become history.